Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a hopefully quick video looking at the liturgical calendar that we sell every year at church. Well, we ask people to donate a few bucks for each year. This is from St. Tikhon's Monastery. I apologize, I'm on my desk, so you can see all my doodles on my work desk. I just wanted to talk about how to use the calendar very briefly. So it's a calendar. So if you know how to use a calendar, you've got that going for you right there. Just looking at, usually in this calendar, there's some artistic things, sometimes an icon. In this case, it's a image, I think, of the St. Tikhon's choir. But every month, you have all the dates listed out for you. Usually there's something at the bottom, some sort of saying this is, well, you can see right there what's going on there. And the main thing here with these calendars is just that it helps us to identify feast days, among which, of course, being a calendar, it's helpful that way. But identifying feast days, fast days, the different special days of the month, scripture readings, that sort of thing. And this is, of course, for November. Today is Wednesday the 16th, so here's where we are. Now, if you look at the calendar, you'll notice immediately there's a couple different colors. These sort of, it's supposed to be a white, it's not really white, it's sort of a kind of a gray-green color. That is a non-fasting day. Pink means fasting days. Sometimes there'll be instructions, like, for instance, during the fast, you have fish, wine, and oil days where they're permitted, or a day where only wine and oil is permitted, or days where nothing's listed, so it's just a normal fasting day, fasting from meat, dairy, wine, and oil altogether. You'll have those days listed out. So if you ever wonder what we're fasting from on a given day, this calendar is very helpful that way. You'll see other things like the tone of the week that's helpful for our choir. Sometimes it'll have these things, these different tones for each week. For the choir members, you can see what the reigning tone of the week is, as it's called. You see the scripture verses for each day. You can follow along with the lectionary. These are the epistle and the gospel for the day. There are other days where you'll have additional ones, like, for instance, like today, being the 16th, is the feast of the Holy Apostle and Evangelist St. Matthew. It's a higher ranking feast, therefore you see it in red. And then there would be more gospel readings and epistle readings and Old Testament readings for this day as well. But these are the main ones. You could follow along at home, just with the calendar itself, by reading those. I'm trying to think what else here. I think one of the bigger things that I would like to focus on is when we have these major feasts, like the entrance of the Most Holy Theotokos into the temple, which is next Monday. You'll see these feasts that are marked in red. And that's to really get your attention, to say of all these days that you should be attending to, these great feasts are some of the most important. Also, too, for yourself, it's good when you get one of these calendars to go ahead and maybe look on the calendar and circle your patronal feast day, your name day. Mine is October 23rd. I know that for St. James, the brother of the Lord. Our parish's feast is April 30th. For St. James, son of Zebedee. And then we have other things like for instance today, St. Matthew. For those who have St. Matthew as their patron, today would be your name day, your feast, as far as that goes. So that's a little kind of primer on the calendar. Just the things to keep in mind is it's got the scripture readings for the day. It's got the feast, especially the major feast. It has the fasting rule. You can see how in pink, we're all in pink throughout here for the Nativity fast. That will go on right through into December up until Christmas Day at liturgy, when after liturgy the fast ends, because we fast up until the time of the liturgy. And then it's a fast-free week beyond until we get to January 5th. These things are very helpful that way. They help us to stay ahead of the church's calendar and be aware of what's going on. There's nothing that thrills a priest's heart more when people actually know where we are in the calendar, and they don't say things like, oh, I had no idea that we were in a fasting season, or, oh, I didn't even know that there was a great feast of the Lord coming up, or the Theotokos. That's very sad. So the calendar is very helpful to make your priest happy and make you happy, actually, too, by keeping in touch with what's going on in the church. So that's a little primer on the calendar. We'll be ordering more soon, and we'll have those for 2023 just around the corner very, very soon. Thank you all. God bless you. Blessed fast.